In 10 days, I completely changed my life. And this video will show you exactly how to do the same. I went from sitting in a cubicle, hating my life, listening to my boss, to living my dream, controlling my own schedule, and giving me the freedom to seek new ventures like this. And this video will teach you exactly how to do what I did. It's just easy. You got to trust yourself and you got to follow these few steps. Let's get into it. Okay, now step one. I gave you 3 questions to answer in the last video. If you haven't answered those questions yet, I'll give them to you again. You can write down your answers and you'll be ready to go for this video. If you did already answer them, you're ahead of schedule. I'm proud of you. So, question 1. What do you enjoy doing that others hate? Question 2. What makes you special? And question 3, you'll go get your 3 closest people and you'll ask them, what makes me special? Once you get the answers to those, it'll help us easily fill in a graph I'll show you, and it'll point us right in the right direction. We'll find our purpose, and we'll be able to live our dreams. It's the first step. Planning is the most important. So let's get it done. Step 1, we got to answer these questions. This is question 1, things I enjoy that others hate. An example of this would be I personally enjoy helping others. I get a lot of joy out of helping others and seeing them succeed and stuff like that. Another thing I enjoy doing is Excel sheets. A lot of people don't enjoy doing that. I like making them. I like digging through financial data, boring stuff like that that other people hate. For you, it might be you like editing videos, you like watching philosophy videos on YouTube, and other people hate that. Just something that you enjoy that you find that other people around you hate, and try to write down at least 2 to 3 things. That way we have some stuff to go off of. So for me, I'm going to put down, what do I enjoy? Oh, number 1, I get a lot of enjoyment out of helping others. Helping others. My handwriting's terrible, so you can't judge me too much on it. I can do complex math, but spelling and handwriting, not my thing. So helping others, number 1 thing. I like Excel spreadsheets. I could sit there and make Excel spreadsheets for hours. Other people, I don't know if they'd enjoy doing that too much. I enjoy growing. I enjoy looking at areas in my life where I'm not succeeding at and finding steps to get to where I want to be. So we can put growing. I know it's painful for other people. It's painful for me as well, but the benefit is worth the pain for me. So there's 3 things that I have right here. So we'll write those down, we'll remember them, and then we'll go on to step 2 here. And that's answering the second question. Okay, for question 2, we're going to want to write down what makes me special. Special is a tough word. We're all special in our own way. Sometimes we can be a little bit more special some days than others. But for this question, I like to think of it as less of a task that you're good at and more of an inherent characteristic of you. For me, I believe what makes me special is my empathy. I'm able to connect with people's emotions on a deeper level, or it seems to be a more advanced level than other people. It allows me to figure out their needs and solve them, and also just build stronger connections with people. That's a quality about myself that I really like, and I think that's what makes me special. For you, it might be you have a really strong work ethic. It might be you're very detail oriented. Something that's inherently in you that makes you special. That's what you need to write down here. So for me, it's empathy. We'll put that here. And for this, you just need one thing. Just write down the number 1 thing that comes to your mind when you hear what makes me special. For me, it was empathy. And so now that you have that, we'll go on to the final question. You're going to need some help. So if you haven't answered these yet, find your 3 closest people, pause the video, and ask them what makes you special, and then get ready. Okay, for question number 3, you're going to ask 3 people that are close to you, what makes me special? When I asked this question, person number 1 said new ideas. So we'll write down new ideas. New ideas. sounds like what they were trying to get at is that I'm able to generate new ideas almost every day. You got to get good at figuring out which ones are good ideas and which ones are bad ideas. This can be a double-edged sword for sure. But that's what person number one said, new ideas. So we're going to write that down. And then person number two said that I am good at motivating others. That makes me special. So we're going to put that, motivating others. So I believe they said this because whether it's playing sports like football, I was always able to, even if we were down by 7 points and there were 6 seconds left, I was able to make everybody believe like we're going to win. And a lot of times we ended up winning. So things like that, very important. But yeah, that's what person number two said. So we're going to put that down. And then person number three said that I am good at problem solving. So we'll write down problem solving. So problem solving. I like this one a lot because no matter what, I'm pretty confident in my ability. If things get rough, I can figure out a way out. So that's a thing that I think makes me special, that when things hit the fan, I can come up with a way to solve whatever problems in front of us. And I'm sure person number three has experienced that firsthand. So those are my three things. Hopefully you got your three things from your three special people about what makes you special. And now that you have that, we can get into the fun stuff. We can make a diagram and then we'll find out what is your purpose. Now it's time to get into the diagrams. But first, we're going to need to take a piece of paper and you're going to write down strength, skill, and passion up at the top. And then you're going to write down all the things that you got out of answering the questions we just answered. So I have helping others, excel, growing, empathy, new ideas, motivating others, and problem solving. I have all those written down there. And eventually we're going to break them down into these categories. So what is a strength? We got to define some terms here. So strength is something you've told yourself that you're good at. You don't have a real process behind it, but you're just naturally good at something, at least in your head. That's something you tell yourself you're good at. So that's a strength. A skill is something that you're good at, but you have a process. You can repeat it over and over again. I'm good at Excel. I can repeatedly make Excel sheets because I have a process. Things like that. That's what a skill is. And then a passion is almost an uncontrollable emotion. It's something that once you get going on a task, that it's impossible to pull you off of it. You're so passionate about it. You're so driven to complete the task that you do it. So that's what a passion is. That would be like an NFL player that loves football. They don't mind going to practice. It's almost impossible to pull them away from practicing football, like Tom Brady. That would be an example of that. So that's what a passion is. That's what all these three things are. So now that you know the definitions, we're going to get into breaking down these things here underneath each one of these categories. And then eventually we'll make a diagram and we'll find out what your purpose is here on the earth and how to achieve it. So let's get into it. Okay, now that we have all of our terms defined, we're going to want to take our answers to the questions we asked and we're going to put them underneath these categories. So this is what it should look like. You're going to have crossover. Crossover is a good thing. So you want as much crossover as possible, ideally. So here under strengths, I have helping others. Helping others is also a passion of mine. Once I get started, it's difficult for me to stop. So I genuinely enjoy helping others. And I believe I have a proclivity to being good at helping others. New ideas, same thing. New ideas. I don't exactly have a process for it, so it's a strength. And I also have a passion for coming up with new ideas. I could come up with new ideas all day. And then if you look at skills, Excel, I have a skill set that allows me to be good at Excel. I'm also passionate about it. I can do it all night, all day. Motivating others, I believe we have a natural inherent ability to motivate others in me. I also have some skills that I use every time to motivate others. And then once I get started, it's difficult for me to stop. It's addictive. especially once you see the reaction from other people. So that's why it's in all three of these. But you want to list out everything that we got from answering those questions underneath these categories. They can cross over, and then we're going to use it in our next step in creating a diagram. It's going to allow us to discover what our purpose is here on this earth and hopefully live a great life. And now, what we're going to want to do is we have all of our answers from our questions written down already. So we're going to make a Venn diagram, a 3-circle Venn diagram. The top one's going to be passion. This circle over here is going to be strength. And this circle over here is going to be skill. And then the overlaps correspond to the ones that are in both categories. And then this middle overlap is the one we're going to want to really focus on. That's going to be where all three of these come together. And that's going to be where our purpose is found. And if you don't have anything in that center graph, then don't worry. You can learn skills to get there. You can, as you learn skills, they're going to become strengths in your head. So they'll move more towards the center. But the thing you want to focus on is your passions, because those are the things that will get you up in the morning. Those are the things that will keep you going when things get tough. So if you can find ways to build skills around your passions, that's where you're at. So that's what the whole focus of this is. So what I want you to do is take that piece of paper and make this Venn diagram and put your different answers in these different categories or spots on the graph. And then once you have that, we'll get into how to make your purpose a reality and take over the world, or at least just be motivated and feel a sense of purpose in the world. So let's get it done, and then we'll go into how to analyze this graph. The key to finding your purpose is finding where the answers to your questions that you answered earlier sit on that diagram and cross over. So ideally, we want to focus on the center. Skills can be learned. Strengths are just your perception, so your perception can be changed. However, passion is something that's born within you, and there's a reason this emotion exists. It's your compass on the road of life. It helps you guide where you should be. And when you aren't following that compass, that's when you start to feel unhappy. You feel like your life doesn't have meaning. So we really want to focus on those things, and we want those to be prevalent throughout our life. Now you might be saying, I filled out this diagram, however, I don't have anything in the center. That's okay. Skills can be learned. Strengths are just your perception, and your perception can be changed. So what we want to do is take a look at our passions, and we want to build skills around those passions, try to move as much stuff to the center as possible. And we want to focus on that center. Everything else around that center in the diagram, those are just bonuses. Those are things you can use to really build your core purpose here on Earth. So what we want to do, if we don't have anything in the center, we want to build up skills around our passions, and then a byproduct of that is we'll view ourselves as strong in those skills. And so we'll have more things in the center, and hopefully we'll be able to identify our purpose. Now that we can take a look at this graph and we see what's in our center, what is our purpose, where does our passion, our strengths, and our skills overlap? Now that we can take a look at that, what we want to do is actively make those a part of our life. We want to seek out jobs that hit all those categories there. We want to seek out activities in our life, whether it's volunteering or talking to people or putting ourselves in the right situation, where those three things that overlap are the focal point of that situation. That's how we're going to find our purpose here, and that's how we're going to feel the most fulfilled. So an example of this would be, for me, my centers I learned are motivating others, growing, and empathy. So I had to find ways in which I could use those skills. For me personally, originally I jumped from sitting in an office job that I hated to getting into real estate, something where I could use my outside of that center skills like Excel, all those things. I could use them to benefit other people's lives, which I enjoy. So because of that, I went from not enjoying my life sitting in a cubicle every day to helping multiple people build 7-8-figure portfolios of real estate, being able to build up my own life and just meet so many interesting people and genuinely enjoy waking up every morning. And then another byproduct, after using this example again in my life, I found that I want to teach people. I teach real estate classes now, but I want to teach people about how I did this, how I'm living the life that I've dreamed of. And it's still growing. That's the beautiful thing. It's not like I hit a destination, it's still growing. So, because of that, I started this YouTube channel here. And these things are fundamental, and I don't think enough people are doing them. A lot of people are just flying by the seat of their pants and letting life happen to them. I think it's things like these that allow you to really sit down and focus on your life and focus on the things you innately enjoy, and making those the core focus of your life. And that allows you to guide yourself and find your ultimate purpose. The key takeaways from this video: answer those 3 questions. What do I do easy that others do hard? 2, what makes me special? And asking 3 other people what makes me special. You get the answers to those, you write them down, and then you break them down into 3 categories: strengths, skills, and passion. And you put them on a Venn diagram, see where they overlap, and your center is what your purpose is here on this earth. In the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to find a way to financially and physically plan out our lives to make those things the core focus of our life, to make those a reality in a practical sense. We'll make sure to do that. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And to help the other people out, we're really trying to grow a community here. Comment down what you found that your purpose might be, or some passions that you might have. Write those in the comments, help people think, get people's brains moving, and let's really just try to be the best people we can possibly be. If you haven't watched my other videos, check out the channel. We're just growing. Let's get it big, baby.